Hey, good morning. We are just going to jump right in. We wanted to talk about strategies for success today. My two bits are implementing some type of system for yourself for your mornings. Whether you can do the full thing in the morning or not, it just depends on your schedule, your job, whatever you're doing. But what you're going to find, he is so cute. What you're going to find is so much empowerment that will happen if you start your day right. So Laura and I have both read The Miracle Morning. I'm 3.5 weeks postpartum, and these past few days I've been able to get up in the 6 a.m. range, so it's slowly coming back. But I can feel I was feeling a big lag. Like, it really makes a big difference to start your day with some exercise and some personal development, and if you're spiritual, some scripture study or something like that. So that's what we highly recommend. Laura, do you have any little pointers with that?
Definitely. I know that when I don't get up and get going, or at least have my routine, then the whole day I feel like I'm playing catch up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I still have to do this and this and this. And so it really helps to have actually a checklist for me. I need to have that checklist, and I'm like, okay, oh, nice. And I get to check things off, and it like makes me feel accomplished.
Yeah, I've been wanting to laminate a checklist because I have it like up on my wall, but I actually don't get to check anything off.
Let's laminate it. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of been on my mind to do. So, all right. So that's a very general tip from both of us, which you've probably heard us say multiple times, but it's because it's really that good and it's going to change your day. Okay, so what we'd like to do is actually share from our top coach in the Beachbody world, Melanie Mitro.
Mitro.
Is it Mitro? Okay. I always want to say Mitro, but I feel like it's wrong. Oh, man. So here we are.
It's going to be a little bit.
And if you guys know Scotty Hobbs, he's awesome, and he had her come for a team call. Another thing I just wanted to point out to you guys, I have learned so much about this business just from Googling stuff into YouTube, like searching stuff in YouTube of, whatever you're struggling with. If it's time management, she does an awesome thing on time management, and so do a lot of coaches. How to schedule your month, I've searched hundreds of things, but whatever you feel like you're getting hung up on, just YouTube it and use this as part of your personal development to buoy yourself up. So, okay.
Because
this is a long video. I'll put the link in our when I upload the Zoom call, because I know, Laura, you have to go to the doctor soon, right? So we'll just maybe watch half together, and then I'll just post the link and you can pull it up.
There are some of you, how many of you have never been on a call that I've done before? This is the first time you're ever hearing me speak. I kind of want to get a feel for, there's a lot. Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself, because as I posted on my Facebook wall this evening about, what is it that people wanted to hear about me? And I got a lot of stuff like, what kind of time did you put in the beginning? What did you do when you started? And, what did you focus on at first? So I'm going to start with that, because I feel like that sets the stage for kind of just the progression of my Beachbody business and how I've gotten to the system that I implement now. So that's really kind of the progression of the call. But I titled it The Recipes for Success, because this is how I became successful. And I picked this slide, the picture that you see, for a very specific reason. And it says, what fills my cup? Knowing that I'm making a difference. And so that's truly the core of who I am, and why I even became a Beachbody coach is because I wanted to make a difference, because I had such an awesome experience and I just really wanted to help people. So welcome to the team call. My name's Melanie Mitro. and I am a 15-star diamond coach. I am currently ranked the #1 coach, which is really exciting. I have an awesome team called the Dream Team, and they're here on this call, and I know we've teamed up with the Bombshell Dynasty to do these calls, so I'm really excited to be here. I got the opportunity to go to Italy this past year for my very first top 10 trip, and it was an amazing experience. So I feel like I have a lot to offer in the sense that I come from a background of knowing nothing about this business and having no clue what I'm doing. So you might be on this call and you might be saying to yourself, I can never achieve success like that. Just wipe that out of your mind, because you absolutely can. I am living proof that an ordinary person can make extraordinary things happen by following some specific things I'm going to talk about tonight, and that's how you can achieve success too. So here we go. A little bit about me. I have 2 little boys, so I'm a mom first and foremost, and I have a son, Landon, who's 5. He just started kindergarten this year, and Bryce, who is 3, and he just started preschool. I started as a challenger, and it was 3.5 years ago, and I was looking for a way to lose baby weight, and I had posted on Facebook about needing to lose weight, and a acquaintance of mine at that time, right, our husbands went to high school together. She messaged me and said, hey, I'm running this challenge group. Would you like to be a part of it? And me, not having any idea what a challenge group was, it's like, sure, why not? Tell me what I need to do. And so she said, you need to pick a Beachbody fitness program. And at that time, Shakeology was optional. And so I chose Insanity, but I didn't buy it through my coach, Nikki. I actually borrowed a copy from a friend, and it was actually a burned copy. I know that sounds awful, but I didn't know any different at that time. And so, so I started doing Insanity, and we were in the Summer Slim Down Challenge. And I was in this group, and there was like 200 challengers in this group. It was the entire Bombshell Dynasty, and all of our challengers and all of the coaches. And I immediately fell in love with this idea of having a place to plug in for support. It was spring, and the weather was still kind of crappy here in Pennsylvania, and it was raining a lot, and we couldn't get out. And I just felt blah about myself. But every day I'd log in, and there'd be people posting motivational quotes and their transformation pictures and recipes and suggestions, and that was motivating to me. I loved being a part of that. And I just found all of these connections with these people in this group. And so every day we'd go to the basement of our townhouse, this little back room where we had our storage unit. And I took my laptop down there, and I would play my DVDs in my laptop. I'd clear the boxes out of the way, and that's where I would work out. And I'd take my baby monitor downstairs because my babies were napping upstairs, and I would work out, and I would pray that nobody would wake up until I finished Insanity. And I will tell you that I literally hadn't worked out in 3 years. So here I am doing Insanity, which is the hardest workout you can possibly imagine. And all I could think about was, I want to change more than I want to stay the same. And I don't care. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And so I did 30 days of Insanity. I saw a little bit of change in my body, and I started to research clean eating. And I fell in love with the idea that I could eat a lot of food and lose weight, because I didn't want to be somebody that couldn't eat. I love food. And so clean eating was a way for me to eat a lot of food and still lose weight. And I started to notice when I started adopting clean eating that my body really started changing. And so I started to post these things on Facebook. I started to kind of share recipes and motivational quotes. And what ended up happening is I ended up losing about 30 pounds total from Insanity and P90X. And I decided that I wanted to possibly explore coaching. And Nikki had asked me 3 or 4 times, hey, you'd be great at this. You know, have you ever considered it? We met at Starbucks. She gave me all this information on coaching. But I couldn't convince my husband to let me become a coach, because we made the decision to be a single family income, and we didn't have any fluff in our budget, which meant we didn't have money to spend on Shakeology, and even the $15.95 monthly coach fee, we didn't have extra fluff. And so it was a struggle for us, and we argued about it. And he was like, no, Melanie, it's just, we don't have money for you to buy Shakeology. And so it was about July, and my birthday's in July, and so I saved up all the money that my grandparents and my parents and my aunts and uncles gave to me, and I paid, at that time, you could pay a $40 sign-up fee, and I got a bag of Shakeology, and I didn't tell Matt that I was signing up to be a coach. And so I waited a couple of days, and when I told him, he was like, that is the biggest waste of money. That's the biggest, I can't believe you did that. That's a complete scam. It's a ripoff. You'll never make anything out of this. And I said, Matt, I go, I really, truly feel like I can be good at this. I'm like, I see that this support is awesome and it helped me get to where I am today. And I really want to do that for other people. I said, if I can help one person, I can transform one person's life, then it was worth it for them to feel that way. And I had this great idea that I was going to start a book club, and I was going to get everybody to buy the Eat Clean Recharge book by Toscarino, and I was going to help people, start to eat better. And that's how I started. So, and he said, whatever, Mel, do what you want, but you're not ordering Shakeology again next month. That was kind of the argument there. And so I had no idea what this business was all about. I mean, I had less than 100 friends on Facebook. So for me, Facebook was meant to just look at my friends' pictures and see what they were up to. I mean, I didn't have any understanding of how you marketed yourself through Facebook. My background is special education, so I have my master's in special ed. My undergrad is psychology. I worked full-time as the director of early intervention before I quit to stay home with kids. And I started my blog from the get-go. That was a question that somebody had asked me on my wall. So my blog, I originally started it, Committed to Getting Fit, was my blog about my journey. So I would blog about my weekly progress update, any recipes that I loved. And I always say they're kid tested and husband approved, because I would only post recipes that my family liked. And so that was also a way for me to kind of keep my own recipe book. So every week when I meal plan, I just go to my own recipes section and pull out what I want. So for me, this was a way for me to document my journey. And that's how I started, with just a free blog. I just went to blogspot.com and created the blog, and it had no bells and whistles that it did now. And it was just me as a place to kind of journal. And I would share it on Facebook. Every single day I would write something, or a couple of times a week, and I would share it. And so I found that people were starting to follow my blog, or they would follow my recipes, and I would be out talking to friends, and they would say, oh yeah, I've been reading your blog, or oh, I tried this recipe and it's really awesome. So I was starting to kind of hear this buzz, but nobody was really saying anything. People weren't coming to me for help. They were just kind of silently watching. And for me, it was more of a way just to share what was working than really a business focus at that point. So that's a little bit of background on where I came from. I did start my blog from day one. I started as a challenger. I had no idea what I was doing. And so what does that look like? So what did the new coach, Melanie Mitro, look like? And I put hot mess, because I feel like I truly was, right? So here I am. I've got an infant and a toddler at home, and we don't have an office, and I have this old beat up laptop that took like 20 minutes just to boot up, and I would sit at my kitchen table, and that's where I would work, and I just have papers all over the place, and every night for dinner I'd package it all up, put it on a chair, and we'd have dinner and wait till everybody went to bed and drag it back out again. And so for me, the beginning of my business was really just trying to figure it out and be a sponge, because we didn't have the Coach Training Academy. We didn't have Coach Basics. We didn't have all of these groups that we now have. So it was literally all of us trying to create systems at that point in time and trying to figure it out. And so, again, I didn't actually hit Success Club my first month, but every single month after that, I did. I wasn't one of those quick builders, right? I didn't go diamond in 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. It took me 9 months to get there. So if you think about, your success, it's not determined by how quickly you get to diamond. It's determined by the daily activities and the things that you do on a consistent basis to help you build a strong foundation. So my working hours, I didn't have a babysitter. I was a full-time mom, which that's a full-time job in and of itself. I was sleep deprived because my baby did not sleep through the night yet. And so I would get up at 5 a.m. and I would do my workout, and then I would run upstairs as fast as possible, shower as quick as I could, run to the table, and I would work as fast as I could. And I would invite people, and I would make up my posts for the day, and I would check in with the challenge group that I had, and I would read anything on the coach page, and I literally would work as fast as I could. Was not organized at the beginning. So yes, I did all of the wrong things. Like I scrolled through Facebook for too long, and then somebody would wake up and I would not get any Beachbody work done, right? I spent too much time on my blog and didn't get my invites done. I made all the mistakes that we all make as new coaches. But I think the one thing that I caught on to quickly was I was making mistakes, and I had to figure out how to manage my time better. So I got the book, Eat That Frog. I got Brian Tracy's time management books, and I did Chalene Johnson's that free 30-day push. And I learned how to manage my time because I saw that was a weakness. And so I learned how to keep a to-do list and then prioritize what was most important. So that 1 hour that I had in the morning started to become very focused invites and posts and writing in my blog. And then if the kids did end up taking a nap at the same time, I would use that 2 hours in the afternoon, and I would sit down again and type as fast as my little fingers could. And I would just keep going back to my to-do list. And if I had extra time, I would move to the next and move to the next. And every day I got up early in the morning, I did mid-afternoon, and then I worked in the evening. And I've done that for 3 years, really consistently, taking any spare moment that I had to work my business. Yes, my house was a mess because I was really busy and I really was passionate about what I was doing. But we figured it out, right? We got there. There were some days where I had to take that afternoon to clean my house. So, that's what the Coach Melanie Mitro looked like for the first year of my business. I didn't have any help. I couldn't hire help. I still wasn't making a ton of money. So I just had to make it work any and every way that I could. So the time management book was Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. And the other one is the Chalene Johnson 30-Day Push, which you can subscribe to it online for free, or you can buy the book and it gives you little worksheets to do too. So those are the books that I did. So that's kind of what I look like. And then as I started to become successful, so as I started to consistently hit Success Club 10 and I was signing coaches and I was starting to develop a team, then I hired a babysitter to help me for 3 hours, 1 day a week. And I was just a family friend, a friend of ours that would come over and help me out. And during that time, I would just schedule calls with my team or things that I couldn't do if the kids were awake. And then I did that 1 day a week for 3 hours. And then eventually it was 2 days for 3 hours. And then eventually it was 2 days for 5 hours. And I just increased it until now I'm at 2.5 days a week where I have a babysitter. And then the rest of the time I just kind of here and there squeeze it in a little more on the weekends, and it works. I've got a good system down, but it just wasn't this overnight success. It did take me time. So yes. All right. So let's get into.
I just wanted to pause up for a second because how awesome is it to hear that she's just a normal mom? She's top in the company, but I just love hearing that she's a normal mom and she's there, for her kids. She ended up scheduling 5, like right now as top coach in the company, 5 hours a week where her kids are being watched so she can do calls. I mean, you're working 5 hours a week and she's a millionaire? Sign me up. Anyway, all right, continue.
Tonight, what are some of the things that I have done? So I hate, and that's a very strong word, but I really dislike inviting a lot. Yes, and Lucia, I will talk about recruiting coaches. I will definitely do that for sure. And my blog is blogspot.com. So I don't like inviting. That is one thing that I just don't like. But yes, I did it. I did it at the beginning because I had to. But in the back of my mind, I thought to myself, how can I create Facebook posts? And for you guys, it might be Instagram if that's where your primary source of social media is going to be. But I thought to myself, how can I get people to ask me questions? How can I post stuff that is going to evoke a response? So that was what I was always trying to do and I measured my success based on how many likes I got or how many comments I got. And I just every day, and sometimes things I thought would be awesome were not. Some things I thought were going to stink turned out to be amazing. So I've been reading this book, and it's called Jab, Jab, Right Hook. It's by Gary Vaynerchuk, and it looks like this. And it says how to tell your story in a noisy social world. And it's a really great book. And I'm going to kind of use this as to kind of give you some idea of how I run my business. So because I didn't like inviting, I had to find a very strategic way to get people's attention. That part of that was my blog. So the recipes, I thought, okay, if I share recipes and if I see somebody out and about and they ask me, wow, you look really great, what are you doing? I would say to people, well, I'm a Beachbody coach. I've been doing Insanity and P90X and Turbo Fire, and I'm getting really great results, and I love it. And they would say, that's awesome. And I'd say, well, go to my blog. I have all these recipes. And so I just direct people to my blog, to read more about me. And it was kind of an easy way to get people exposed to what I was doing. Or I'd say, hey, I'll friend request you on Facebook and I'll send you some information on what I've been up to. So that was some of the stuff I would do at the beginning if I saw somebody out and about. Then on social media, I always thought to myself, I'm going to be consistent. Every single day, I'm going to show people that these programs work by being a product of the product. And so that alarm would go off at 5 a.m. and I'd say to myself, oh my gosh, I just want to sleep in. But I would think to myself, I have to get up. I have to prove to other people that this works. I have to be that motivation. People are counting on me. And so I'd get up and I'd do my morning selfie or my morning motivational post. And every single day without fail, if it was rest day, I was meal planning or I was doing something else. And I would post about it every morning. And no, I didn't get comments or likes for a really long time, but people were watching because, again, I'd see them out and about and they'd say, holy cow, I can't believe you get up that early to exercise, or I could never do that, And so so people were actually watching what I was doing. And then throughout the day, I was kind of setting the stage for us inviting people to a challenge group. So I would share, we'd go to the park. I'd take my kids to the park and I would pack us all a lunch and I'd take a picture of everything that I packed. And I would make sure that it was all clean eating. And then I would narrate, how to stay on track when you're hanging out with your kids. Or if we were taking a road trip, I would pack everything and then take pictures of it and I'd narrate it and I'd talk about just what I was going through in my personal journey. So those of you that are new coaches that have never been in a challenge group before or just starting a challenge group, start there. Just make it a point every single day to 3 to 5 times a day. You're just sharing your life and how you're making these healthy changes. And so this is called jabs. And so when you're setting up the stage for your business, you're delivering a series of jabs in your business. And so these jabs are your posts, your 3 to 5 times a day. And so, example, in here, I'm talking about, and this all is about how to, busy women's tips, because I did a busy women's challenge in September, at the very beginning of September. And so in my mind, I knew that I was going to advertise for this 60-day challenge group, and it was going to be targeted all around busy women. And so I was setting the stage, and this is what I do. I was posting dinner recipes. I was making things that were quick and easy, and I was taking pictures of them, and I was talking about easy, quick dinners as your kids are going back to school and you're really busy. Here is a great recipe to make. And I would share this recipe and I'd give the link to my blog post so that they could go there and get the recipe. The next day I did the busy women's tip, skip doing your hair, skip the unimportant. So if you really want to change your body, your workout is important. So skip something else. Maybe you don't dry your hair that day, or maybe you drink your shake instead of making pancakes that morning. So I am delivering these series of jabs, which are free tips that I'm handing out and giving to people because I want them to see that you have a choice that you can make, right? My next one is all my clothes, all my workout clothes. I lay out a week's worth of clothes on my ironing board, and I wake up every morning and I just grab a pile, go and change, and go. Some people sleep with their clothes on at night, so they just wake up and walk right out of the room and go downstairs. So I was setting the stage for my advertisement for my challenge group that hasn't even happened yet. But I was getting it in people's minds that it doesn't matter how busy you are, you can still make fitness a priority. You can still make being healthy a priority, right? So these are your jabs. These are your setting the stage for your business. Your right hook, that is when you come in and do an advertisement for your challenge group. So, and we're going to get to that on the next slide. So how long should you kind of deliver this series of jabs? You can do this as long as you want, but it's going to take at least a week to a week and a half before traction starts to happen in your posts. So, if you're thinking to yourself, I want to advertise for a challenge group, and you put one challenge group advertisement out there and that's it, I guarantee you're going to get nothing. You're going to get maybe a little bit of interest, but you're not going to get people to make a commitment. It takes time. So I literally posted 3 to 5 times a day for 3 months. 3 months before I figured it out and people started coming to me. How many people are willing to stick it out for 3 months with zilch, nothing, right? I blogged for 9 months before I got my first customer out of my blog. Now, I feel like I've done a better job at teaching my team how to have faster results, but I figured it out the hard way. I stuck it out because I just knew it was going to work. I had faith in the process. I had faith that what I had to offer was something awesome and important. So, all right, next slide. So delivering the right hook. The right hook literally is your challenge group advertisement. So you're going along, you're posting 3 to 5 times a day, you're talking about being busy, you're talking about, quick and easy meals and how to stay on track when life is crazy, especially with kids going back to school. The last thing parents are thinking about is themselves and getting into shape. And so here I come in and I have this idea, right? And even the week before, how do busy women stay fit? I posted my meal plan, right? Everything is crock pot meals, easy to make, things that are portable snacks. I just made my meal plan fit what I was trying to do, what I was trying to deliver. So here I go. I'm advertising for my challenge group. I make up the pretty little ad. I've been setting the stage. And here is where I really go into the explanation of my challenge group. And I do this on various social media sites. So I use my blog as a way to explain my challenge group, because how many people are like, what the heck is a challenge group? I have no idea what this is. Especially as a new coach, people, your friends and family, they don't understand what you're doing. So I figured out that if I wrote a blog post about it, I could explain all of the details. I could talk about my experience with the challenge group. I could say, this is what a challenge group is. Give a description. I could say, these are the requirements of the challenge group, a fitness program, Shakeology, right? That you're going to check in daily. And here's what I'm going to provide for you. Motivation, support, accountability. I'm going to share my weekly meal plans. I'm going to give you recipes and tips and suggestions. In this particular challenge group, I'm really going to focus on quick, easy meals that you can prepare in less than 30 minutes, portable snacks for on the go, how to make your fitness a priority when you feel like you're pulled in a million different directions by your family, how to not feel guilty about putting yourself first. So I was targeting a specific market, busy women. You can target whatever you want. You can target people going back to college if that's your market. You can target, the 50 or 60-year-old age, things that you go through at that age, maybe a slowing metabolism. You can do a whole challenge group on how to boost your metabolism, why muscle, and as the older you get, is important to keeping you going, keeping you having energy, make your bones stronger, right? So no matter who you are, as long as you find your market, you can deliver amazing jabs and amazing right hooks in your business. So this is what I do, right? I write my little blog post and then I make my image. I put my image in there. I use my challenge group application that I create on woofu.com, and it's free if you have less than, I think, 8 fields. And it's awesome because the challenge group application is a great way to collect information and find out some things about people that are interested in your challenge groups. And it helps to cut down on that whole invite process and all the 5 steps and the asking questions. You can get a lot of that right from the get-go. So what I do is I write this blog post. It's a great way to get all that information in one place, and then I share it on my Facebook wall. I post it right on my Facebook wall. If you'd like more information about my challenge group, read here for the details and apply below. And so that's my right hook. And so I deliver that post, but I don't just do it once. The next day I continue on with my busy women's tips, and then I post it again about my challenge group, and here's the link to the blog to go check it out, because you know you're going to miss people, right? No matter when you're online, you know, somebody might not be on at that time, so you want to keep talking about it. You know, the next day you share a transformation story of somebody that has gone through the program, that has gotten results, that works full time, right? So I'm just using that as an example. So that's really how you back it up. But I think it's important. You want to have a very clear call to action. So apply here. Here's the link. Click this link for more information, and that link can be your blog. It's important not to put the link to your Team Beachbody site, because it just takes them to Team Beachbody and people don't know where to go. You want to take people directly to where you want them, whether it's to message you for more information, or it's to fill out an application, or it is directly to the blog that talks about what your challenge group is. You want to have it direct them to a specific spot so they can't get lost along the way. So keep that in mind. All right. Sample jabs with the right hook. So this is actually a blog post that I wrote, how to beat the holidays without them beating you. And so I have in here, it talks about, it's just my tips for how to stay on track through the holidays. I took a picture of my food journal, and I talked about how, you know, I'm going to keep you on track with your food journal. Over on the left-hand side there, it's the actual advertisement that I have. It's a holiday clean eating and Shakeology challenge group. So that's my actual advertisement that's a part of it. So setting the stage for something over the holidays, because we have the holidays approaching. You're going to want to share recipes, especially as it's, you know, football season and we're moving into Halloween, and candy is going to be everywhere. It is already everywhere. So start sharing Shakeology recipes, you know, pumpkin spice latte alternatives, Twix bars, and chocolate chip cookie dough Shakeology recipes, right? So instead of candy, do this, right? It's not going to affect your waistline. Talk about your fitness accountability, motivation. You know, you want to just share as much as you can to show people that you're a product of the product. Like you are a source of information. If people want to come back to your Facebook page because you motivate them to stay on track. Also, share your posts everywhere. So if you make these little challenge group advertisements, pin it on Pinterest, right? Link it to your blog or link it to your Facebook page. If you write a blog post, you know, pin all of your images to Pinterest using the pin it button. You install it right to your browser and it links everything back to your blog. This way, the more social media sites you can get your information out on, the more widespread your network is going to be. I just figured this out over time, right? So it was just trial and error until I got there. Write down how to install the pin it button on your browser, and all you have to do is Google search that, and it'll tell you exactly how to do it. You know, I would take my images in my blog and put them on Instagram, and then I would put the link to the blog post to read more about it. So you can use it in all these different ways to try to get people to connect with you too. So, all righty. Marketing. So here's what I do too, is I have a marketing strategy. Every single month I have an idea of what I want to do. So like this week, I'm really starting to set the stage for October, and I'm starting to think about, okay, what are people struggling with, right? So I know that we're going to be moving into the holidays. I know that people are not necessarily going to want to commit to a 30 or a 60 or a 60-day or a 90-day challenge group, right? So I want to keep it easy and short and simple. People are going to be struggling with candy and fall, like pumpkin pies and Thanksgiving dinners. And so people are going to say, I don't want to commit to a challenge group because I'm going to visit my Aunt Sally and she's going to have pumpkin pie and apple pie and turkey, and I'm not giving that up. So I want to create challenge groups that appeal to those people, where we talk about balance, you know, and maybe, you know, I teach you how to make it through the holidays without completely falling off track, right? So we're not going to deprive ourselves of all of the holiday traditions, but we're going to pick and choose what's most important. And that's my marketing. So 30-day group, maybe you do a 30-day clean eating refresh challenge group where they have to buy the refresh challenge pack, and you start it the day after or right after Halloween. You call it your candy community detox. It's going to get you to Thanksgiving. It's going to help you stay on track. And you're going to teach them just simple strategies, how to pick and choose what's most important. Here are some healthy alternatives to the things that you love, right? Work out on the day you're going to have Thanksgiving dinner so that it kind of cancels each other out, that kind of stuff. You don't have to eat corn, mashed potatoes, and rolls. Pick one. What's your favorite? So those are some of the tips that you want to be sharing with people along the way. So as I'm thinking about October, I'm just going to do 30-day groups from here on out, because I know I'll most likely get more success with that than a 60-day group, because it runs into too many holidays. Holiday parties, New Year's, spring break, getting ready for the pool. Every time of the year, you want to be thinking about how can you take your traditional challenge group and twist it into whatever is going on for that time of year. And every single month, I come out with a new idea just based on what people are going through. But it's the same concept. I just take it and twist it a little bit as we go. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. I do the same thing with coaching too. So think about last month and signing up coaches. Nobody really wanted to invest time because my market was really busy with going back to school and, going teachers. I had a lot of teachers that were going back to the classroom and they didn't want to commit to building a business. But I decided to spin it the way as, create a mobile business, how to work your business while working a full-time job, right? How to turn your passion for health and fitness into extra income. And I spun it the whole way as give me 1 hour a day and I'll teach you how to make the most of that 1 hour and build a business. And so I just did a 30-day new coach boot camp is what I did. So it was really helpful. And I got a lot of people that were like, I work full time. I'm really busy, but yes, I'm really interested in being a Beachbody coach. And I just really simplified things and said, okay, you only have 1 hour a day. These are the most important things you're going to work on. Was the 3 vital behaviors. So, and then this month, as you're going into the holidays, what are people looking for? They want extra spending money for Christmas, right? They're going to start cutting corners. So instead of them going out and getting a second job, why not become a Beachbody coach? So every month, as you're talking about coaching too, think about what people want to hear. What's going to be most appealing to them at this point in time? Paying for Christmas presents and providing their family with a nice holiday season is going to be top priority on everybody's list. So keep that in mind. You do a marketing strategy for your challenge groups and your coaching opportunity too. And you never miss a month. So you don't say, oh, I'm busy, I'm just not going to run a challenge group this month. You do it anyways. I have never not ran a challenge group. Even to this day, I still run at least 2 challenge groups every single month. It's my bread and butter of my business. I think that's it's one of my slides. It's coming up here. So, all right, attracting success. So let's just kind of go back and say, I might sound like I know what I'm doing, but I want you to know that I started out not knowing what I was doing. And so I made in my mind, right? I started my first challenge group. I didn't know what I was doing, but nobody knows that. Nobody knows what it is supposed to be. And so you want to attract the success that you want. You have to pretend and fake it and just dig down and find confidence and say, I'm going to do it anyways. I don't care if I fall flat on my face, because every time I mess up or I make a mistake, I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to be able to teach my future team how to be successful too. And you just have to, in your mind, say, failure is acceptable. Failure is something you want. You want to make mistakes so that you can learn and be better. The people that are so afraid to fail that they don't try or they don't even take that first step are not going to be successful in this business. So you have to draw a line in the sand and say, what do I want? Do I want to be successful more than I'm afraid of failure? And you just decide, I'm going to go for it. Who cares if I look dumb or make a mistake? Nobody's going to remember. Nobody's going to even know. I think back to, I was determined. It didn't matter if nobody responded the first time I posted about my challenge group. I was like, all right, maybe I just posted at a bad time. And I just kept going every single day, right? Just with my blog, the first 9 months of getting nothing. It was sheer determination, in part, that I wanted to prove my husband wrong, that I could really make this business work, right? I'm sure that was part of it, but I just knew it was going to happen. I had this focus that I wanted to grow a business, and I didn't care how long it took me. I believed that it was going to happen. I knew that there was opportunity there. And yes, I sacrificed my sleep, TV, shows that I used to watch. I used to watch Grey's Anatomy every single Thursday. I haven't watched it in years. Free time, that kind of stuff. I sacrificed that kind of stuff so that I could work my business. And in my mind, it was 24/7, whatever it takes. I mean, literally, I just said, whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. And I had that fearless attitude. I just said, I don't care. I'm going to go out there and put myself out there. And then lastly, when it comes to attracting success, creativity. So the whole marketing strategies, I'm always like thinking outside of the box and saying, I'm trying to create visually appealing things so that I can attract people to me. I go to Pinterest a lot and I'll just type in Beachbody Coach. I'll type in 21 Day Fix or Insanity Max 30. And on Pinterest, and I'll look to see what are other coaches posting about. What does their images look like? Or I'll go to motivational quotes and I'll look and I'll see, okay, what catches my eye? What do I like about what other coaches are doing out there? And then I just take bits and pieces and I say, I can make it better, or I can do it this way. And I create things on my own. And that's how I come up with my own creativity, right? I just kind of take little bits and pieces and I make Melanie Mitro style. And it works for me. So if you want to attract success, you have to be successful even when you're not successful. And you just have to go out there and act like you're the top coach. And it doesn't matter how much money is being deposited in your bank account by Beachbody every week. It doesn't matter if you're in the negative this week. It doesn't matter if you were a diamond coach and you lost your diamond and now you're back at an emerald. You act like you're a diamond. You act like you're a 2-star or 5-star. You just go out there and you exude confidence, and you'll attract confident people to your business too. So absolutely. All right. Challenge groups. Like I said before, that's your bread and butter of your business. Never stop doing challenge groups. Don't ever say to yourself, I'm going to just focus on recruiting this month because I need coaches. Your best coaches as a new coach comes from your challenge groups. Every single month you start a challenge group, and if you get 3 people in a challenge group, you run it anyways, right? Because that just means you have more time to devote to those 3 people to helping them get good results. Or you team up with another coach and you co-run it together. But I always say to myself, it was a successful challenge group if I turned one person into a coach. That's the whole point of me going in there, being the best coach that I can be, providing people support so that they get really awesome results and that they naturally become an advocate, so that people at the break room are asking them how they lost weight, and people want to know where they can get the 21 Day Fix because your challenger looks amazing. It's a natural progression for them to become a coach because they've got a success story to share, and it's just easy. So at the beginning, almost 99% of my new coaches came from my challenge groups. I would approach everybody in my challenge group about upgrading to become a coach, whether they wanted the discount or they wanted to learn more about the business. And I would just nonchalantly offer it to everyone. And that's how I built myself to diamond. And then after a while, people started to come to me for the business. But it did take a long time for that to happen. I look at my challenge groups as those are your success stories. So those are the things that you can put on your wall and say, congratulations to my challenger, Sally. She's lost 30 pounds with the 21 Day Fix. I'm so proud of you. You've come so far. That right there is your credibility. Hey, what Deb is doing is working. She must be an awesome coach. Look, so-and-so got these great results. I'm going to ask her more about her next challenge group or what she has going on, right? So that truly this is where it starts. So in your mind, you just say, I'm going to get really good at running challenge groups because I know that's going to help me build my business. It's going to be your funnel of new potentials. And then consistency, even when everybody else throws in the towel. How many of you have had challenge groups that literally have petered out in the first 30 days and nobody is posting or commenting? The one thing I've never done is checked out. Even if I'm the only one in there posting, I will post until it's over, until day 60. I will message those challengers every single week and say, hey, just checking in on you to see how you're doing. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Let me know how your workouts are going. even if they never respond to me and I see that they viewed it. Every single Thursday, check in with all of my challengers. Half the time they come back and say, I'm so sorry I let you down. Is there any way I can join your next challenge group? I'm ready to recommit. Or they just thank me for being there for them, even though they gave up on themselves, you know? So that's another piece. I just do it, even if nobody continues to post. And I do that in my coach apprenticeship programs or my coach basics group too. You know, no matter what, I always continue to post, even if all of the coaches have fallen off, and it's happened before. So yes. Let's see, Tina, yes, I don't make them buy a challenge pack, right? So if they have a fitness program, then they just have to get Shakeology. If they have Shakeology, then they have to get a fitness program. So they have to have both. That's a non-negotiable unless they have some kind of allergy and can't drink Shakeology for whatever reason. So I do. And what does my intro to coaching at the end of your challenge group look like? So basically, Sean, I will explain that in 1 minute. So at the end of a challenge group, when I'm finishing it up, I'll say, hey guys, we've reached day 60. This is the end of our challenge group. You have a couple of options. You can move on to my next challenge group and either continue with the fitness program you're doing, or we can pick another program. You can continue on your own and do your own thing. Or if you really love this group and you would like to pay it forward, you can become a Beachbody coach and we can work together and we can start a challenge group together next month. And I'll say, message me for more information. And I'll post that in the challenge group, but then I'll go back and I'll message every single person that was in that challenge group and say, hey, where do you want to go from here? So I make sure I do that follow-up conversation too. So as far as how do I say no to a challenger, Sean? I don't say no to them. So if somebody comes to me and they say, I can't afford Shakeology this month, you know, I have Insanity, can I please be in your group? I'm like, look, I totally understand money's an issue. I would never want to put you in a financial situation by making you get it. I have a general support group that is not as structured. It's not a challenge group, but I can still help you there. I'm more than happy if you sign up for a free account and I'm your coach. I'll guide you along. It's just that I save the challenge groups for those that commit to Shakeology and the fitness program. I have to keep it exclusive and I like to keep the playing field level. But that doesn't mean I won't help you outside of a challenge group. So that's what I say to people. I always give them another option because the last thing I want people to do is feel like I'm just out for the sale. So I do try to give them some other support along the way. So that's what I do. Yes, from the very start, I require both. And then in a general challenge group, I just have a banner where I do, and I think I got this from Burkita. It's just like Monday is sweaty selfie, Tuesday is like Shakeology picture of the day, or, you know, food pick of the day. And then Wednesday is post your favorite motivational quote, you know, and then Thursday is, I do like Flex Friday, but then every month I just change the banner and whatever I post in the morning, I always post in that group too. Or if I am doing an afternoon post, I'll just hop in there and just general stuff. It's nothing structured. It's just they can ask questions and I'll answer it. And it's just kind of an accountability group. So yes. All right. Attracting coaches. So last but not least, what's my marketing campaign? I get asked this all the time. What people do you want to attract to your business? So when it comes to coaching, think about what are the type of people you want to attract. You want to attract people that are motivated, that are dedicated. You want to look for people that love health and fitness. You want to look for people that are driven. I follow the same rules with the jab, jab, right hook for my business. So I take and this is just how I set it up. The first half of my month is advertising for a challenge group. I spend the first 2 weeks getting my challenge group ready because I want to get my Success Club points out of the way right at the beginning of the month. So by the third week, my challenge group is ready. Then I flip the switch and I start to do my jab, jab, right hook for coaching. And so, for example, the 1 month I did Pay It Forward, and everything was about turn your fitness into your business. And it was about me. And I started out with the week and a half of advertising for my next Coach Basics group, right? And I started out by saying, you know, I'd had such great results with Insanity and I feel amazing and I've had more energy and I just love the way I feel and I want to pay it forward and help other people feel the same way. You know, if you love health and fitness and you want to help other people achieve results and earn an income along the way, then message me about my next coach training. And I would do the same thing and make an advertisement about what I had to offer, Coach Basics, or if you call it your own, like Coach Boot Camp, or, you know, one-on-one calls. I'm going to give you access to all of my documents and resources. And those are your team resources, right? You want to market yourself. What is it that you have to offer? You know, what is it that you're going to do for coaches that sign up with you? That's why people choose you versus somebody else, because maybe they're in your challenge group. And I just used this example the other night, right? Say you have a challenger in your challenge group and they're loving the challenge group and they haven't even said anything to you yet, but they're thinking about this coaching thing, and you never post about coaching. You never post about the opportunity. You never talk about, you know, what you have to offer, the training groups that we offer as a team to new coaches. But they see their neighbor down the street is a Beachbody coach and they're posting about their 30-day new coach boot camp, turbocharge your Beachbody business, get started right, you know, be part of a top team. And they're like, okay, this person has training, and they go and sign up with that person because you never talked about it. And it's that other person just may not even know. They may not know any different, but that's the bottom line. If you don't put yourself out there, people are going to join no matter what. So you're doing more of a disservice for yourself if you never put it out there. So think about that, right? When it comes to attracting coaches, why you versus somebody else? Well, because I have something to offer and I share it. But guess what? You have something to offer too. You just got to share it a little bit too. So when it comes to attracting coaches, use the same strategy that you use with advertising for challenge groups and do it for advertising for coaches. Pick a start date that maybe you and your upline set for when you're going to run your next Coach Basics group, and then you guys advertise and set a goal. I'm going to get one person in this group or two people in this next coach apprenticeship group that I can mentor along, right? You don't have to do it all by yourself. Even as a brand new coach, your upline is going to run that group. They're going to help you with the calls. You're not going to have to train somebody right off the bat. You've got a good system for plugging you in and helping you out. So I really hope that helps and gives you some insight how I attract coaches into my business too. So, and you know what, Darlene, it didn't work for me at the beginning either. There were a lot of times that I'd post different ways about people joining my team. You know, I would post about the team calls that I was on. I'd post about the personal development that I was reading, and I'd post quotes about, you know, building a successful business. And so during that 2 weeks of advertising for coaches, I would just, okay, what can I put out there to show people that I'm knowledgeable about this business and that I'm positive and I'm savvy about, you know, creating this business. And I would just post what I was learning along the way. So I hope that's really what I did. All right. How long did it take for me to feel confident? I would say really recruit. How many coaches did you add to apprenticeship? Weren't that not yours before you added them to yours? Lucia, I would say, you know, I tell my coaches, you can add your coaches to my coach apprenticeship program until you are ready to go out on your own, right? So once you become diamond, usually your first or second round, we still kind of do together. But then after that, you should be okay to do them on your own. If you only have one person that month, then fine, we'll team up and do it together. But it's kind of one of those things that you just go and you say, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to try it and see how it goes, you know, and then sometimes it doesn't work out, and then we work together the next month. So as far as scheduling my posts, I saw that somewhere. I do schedule my posts. I actually schedule just my challenge group posts, not my Facebook posts, but I have them set to post every morning at 6:30. And then that takes away like a half hour of typing out the post or copying and paste it. And I just unpin the post from yesterday and pin the new post to the top. And then I use that time that I would have used to post in all my groups to interact with my challengers. So it's not like I cut out a half hour of work time. I just made it of more value where I was actually interacting. So yes, and Sendable I use Sendable for that. Yes. Yeah. And applications, if you want to go check it out, it's on my blog. If you scroll through a little bit, I think there's one on the right-hand side. You can click on it, and it's actually, I might actually have it up here on my computer. Hold on, I'll pull it up for you guys. So for example, here's my Fall into Fitness one, and I'll post this link. Here you go. There you go. It's not a sendable app. It's this is for my blog. So this is where, like, if somebody wants to join my challenge groups, that's what they can fill out. And I have one for coaching too. What apps for making ads with words, photos, etc. So PicMonkey is good on the computer. You can do, Sendable is not an app, that's on your computer. You have to do that on the computer. Yeah, Photofy, I use WordSwag, all of that kind of stuff. So, yes. And you can just go to the apps and put like photos on text or photos or not, or text on photos, and a bunch of apps will come up. So anything you need, if you just search it in your apps, it'll come up, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, Rona Designs, A Beautiful Mess, those are all good. What's the best advice you would give a coach who really wants it, but also works full-time and is a mother? 3 to 5 challengers every single month. Your goal, without a doubt, is focus on challenge groups. So every single month, your focus is, okay, as a busy mom, how can you show other people that you can stay accountable to your own health and fitness? So you're going to post about your workout. At lunchtime, you're going to post about your lunch and your food. At night, you're going to post something motivational or something about your family, right? And so every day, you're going to talk about your life as a full-time mom and how you stay on track. You're going to motivate people to stick with it. And you're going to go out there and you're going to invite people. That 1 hour that you have is going to be dedicated to your challenge groups and finding people. And then once you hit Success Club every single month, make it a non-negotiable. As you start running challenge groups, then you start asking those people to become coaches, and you just build it slow and steady. It's not a sprint to the top, especially when you're working full-time and you have small kids. The best way to not get burnout is to just keep a consistent, steady pace where you're doing those 3 vital behaviors every single day. When did Matt come around? When he went to Summit the first year. So it was almost a year into my business. I made him go to Summit with me, and he hated every minute of it. But halfway through Summit, he stumbled into a general session, sat way up in peanut heaven, and I was down front, and he listened to Carl speak and heard the vision for the company. And he really his wheels started to turn. He met some amazing guys, really spent some time with Billy and Neil and developed great friendships. And they really kind of opened his eyes to what Beachbody was all about. And he kind of realized, okay, I'm not in this alone as a spouse, and my wife really does love this. And he started to come around. But we had to really talk about it. We had to work at it. We had to have conversations about how I would spend my time so that I wasn't all Beachbody. I had to respect the time that he wanted to spend with me, and it happened. It took work. It was not easy, but it was worth it, right? Yes, and he met Mate. It was his BFF. So, yeah. Jamie, and it happens. Sometimes we just drive so hard that we have to stop. And you can balance it all, but you almost have to say to yourself, like, look, again, it's not a sprint. It's a consistent pace. And you'll have slipbacks, right? Like, Jamie, I know you were saying, like, a lot of your customers and your coaches are canceling because they don't want to redo their Shakeology, or they don't want to stay on it. And that will happen. I look at my organization and the customers and coaches I had when I started, almost all of them are gone. I have very few originals that are still there. So it's not anything about you. It's just, things happen. You'll find the consistent ones that'll stay with you. Average is about 3 months, Jill. Yes, I would say, you'll find people will stay for an average of 3 months. So that's why you always want to refill that cup. You always want to be talking about Shakeology and how it's not a weight loss shake. It's a meal replacement. It is nutrition for your body. It's convenience, so you want to get people to start thinking that way. Some will, some won't. You just have to keep saying it. All right, I will take one more question and then I'm going to let you guys go. Yes. What tips do you have on price objections for Shakeology? I would say when it comes to price objections, that's something that I did again through a lot of my Facebook posts. Was I just talked about it. You know, $4 a day sounds like a lot of, or $130 a month sounds like a lot up front, but when you break it down, $4 a day, I mean, you can't even find a meal that's healthy for less than that, you know, for under $4. So it might seem like a lot, but when you break it down, it's not that bad. Or what kind of value do you place on your health? You know, I talk about that a lot. I talk about the fact that I'm busy and there are some mornings that I'm running out the door and the old me would have grabbed a Starbucks and a muffin. And I've done comparisons where I've like done the calorie count and the fat content of a muffin and a Starbucks and then to Shakeology, you know, and the Shakeology keeps me full and the Starbucks, I'm hungry in an hour and I feel disgusting and I don't have any energy. So I've just, at the beginning, I talked about Shakeology all the time and the benefits and, you know, the cost savings. And that was how I kind of combated the price objections was just, I just talked about it over and I wrote blog posts and I made YouTube videos and that's what I did. All right, guys, I will share the recording and I will make sure that that gets out to everybody. Thank you so much for being on the call tonight. I had a good time hanging out with you all and I wish you all the best success. I can leave you with one thing tonight. It is as you go into the holidays, don't slow down. Don't sit for somebody who even when the holidays come around, it feels like all you hear is crickets is going to eventually create success in your business and momentum that will just.
Well, I don't think that was my computer. I think it was theirs. Anyway, I couldn't hit stop on that because it was just awesome. I have, I guess I can stop the share so you can see me. I have 2 pages full of notes from that and a couple lines from the next page as well. So these YouTube videos, you guys, a lot of times I'll kick them on. I'll probably kick on some more personal development while I'm in the shower. But sometimes it's great to just sit down and be a sponge. Like she said, soak it in. I have, you know, different ways of doing my notes with big stars and arrows and stuff like that for actions I can implement right away and stuff that will just, you know, kind of come back to good key points for marketing. With this, I loved her spring, summer, fall, winter. I just kind of roll month by month and I'm not really looking at the full season and what people are going to be dealing with. And obviously that's a great way to market. So another point that I really liked with the end of the challenge groups and getting your coaches from your challengers, I have like maybe 50% of the months I've gone through and asked people like, hey, do you want a coach? Or, you know, if somebody's really popping in the group, I'll reach out to them. But you really shouldn't discount anybody, and you should really, I might even post today in our group because I had some people join like mid-group last month. Yeah, so I might post today something about options to go after you finish your program. And like she said, so continue with us in the challenge group. You can continue your program again, or I could help you get set up with a new program. You can continue on your own, or if you want to pay it forward and become a Beachbody coach, we can get you started right away. You know, it doesn't have to be this big, scary invite. I think that was something you just, I don't know, with inviting to coach, you get so nervous and excited and you want people to see the vision. Just like I loved what she was saying about her husband, that he finally saw the vision of the company. And when you see the vision in your life and how becoming a coach actually just makes everything better, when you catch the vision, you have a coach. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed and got so much out of this as well. So bye. Want to say bye? Okay. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining. Next Monday, we'll do Life Power Hour. Bye.